they not like us.
You big dummy.
Great day. Welcome to the House of Cons. Try butt with me one more time. Salute to everybody in the house. Salute to Monaga in the house. Try butt. Salute. Everybody do me a favor. Hit the like, subscribe, share the video, Monaga. Hey, before we start the show, I gotta give a shout out to the supporters. Hey, salute to Michael Sevier on the Cash Out donation. He sponsored the show. Salute to Michael. Appreciate you, homie. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, we got a good show lined up once again. Old Breeze in the house. Salute. Yeah, Michael sponsored the show, so I said, you know what, let me get to work. Monaga, Michael drop some support on the Cash Out. 203 Low Gang in the house, always supporting. And I appreciate all the supporters, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all the ones give me the motivation to keep it popping. Hey, we got a good show lined up, man. The West Indian Exposition, Monaga. Hit me up in the chat. Let me know if you ever heard of the West Indian Exposition. Has anybody ever talked about the West Indian Exposition? If you have, you know, let us know in the chat. If you ain't, it's all good. Let us know too, because we're going to talk about it today. You know, Michael hit me up with the Cash Out donation. He sponsored the show. I said, well, let me pull out something new, Monaga. That's what we're going to do. And we're looking at the thumbnail from a third eye point of view, not a bird eye point of view. Before we start talking, man, geography, before we get into this lesson, man, hey, Marquise Larkin in the house, tribe up. Before we get into this topic, man, y'all know your boy Blackjack. I'm a Naga that's down for the home team, Monaga. I always been a Naga in the hood, down for the home team, Monaga. You know, I got home pride, Monaga. I got pride in where I'm from, Monaga. Hey, but it's a lot of stuff about me, like I love geography, Monaga. Geography one of my favorite subjects, Monaga. Geography, you know, it just certain stuff about school. When I was in school, certain stuff I didn't like, but there was certain stuff that I loved. You know what I'm saying? Like, in geography was one of those things that I love. I like to know where places are, Monaga. I like to know where something at. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody say talk about Hawaii, I like to know where it's at, Monaga. I like to say I don't like to feel dumb. You ever see them shows where they walk down the street and they ask random people where a certain place in the world is, and like most of the people don't even be knowing? I be like, how dumb, man. Like, I don't never want to feel like that. Like, and I was like, and as a child, like, I wasn't thinking about it like consciously, like, you know, I want to know where everything at. It was just something I was interested in. I was interested in geography and where places are. You know, I was just interested. I always had a globe. Even though I don't believe in the globe, I don't believe in the globe theory and all of that. I don't even get into all that right now, but I always just had a thing for knowing where places are and where I was at. It was just always fascinating to me about the planets, you know, about the plane we live on, Monaga. And I'm like, I'm over here, somebody's over there. I was always interested in that, even as a kid, Monaga. And this is one of my favorite subjects. And you know, as I got older, I never, even as a kid, if someone was to ask me, did I ever think I was going to become a professor or an instructor? As a kid, I would have said, no, man, I want to be a superhero when I grow up. As a kid, you know, young Blackjack. But becoming an instructor, transitioning from the student to the teacher, you know, it's a thing, you know. And then when you make that transition from the student to the teacher, it's a lot of things you learn about the instructor, about the teacher. Like this something people don't know about teachers. Did you know all teachers have like favorite classes? Like when you a teacher, your class almost like your kids. Even if you teaching adults, they almost feel like your children. Even if I done had students that was older than me when I was teaching certain courses, but they always feel like your kids because you guiding them and you passing down some knowledge to them about a particular subject. But all teachers, well, they just like all parents, probably got a favorite kid. Well, all teachers have their favorite classes. Like we got as a teacher, you will have certain groups that you hold closer to your heart, or they made a bigger impression on you as an instructor than other classes have. Or you might have some personalities in there, or some people that just the connection for that particular group was there. But that just we're getting off topic a little bit, but it all connect what I got to say though. But I always had like favorite groups, and I got a bunch of YouTube channels, right? Like right now, I got a bunch of different classes, but this is my favorite class. I must say, this is my favorite group over here at the House of Cons. One general in the house, Tribe Buck, one general in this thing. Yeah, this like my favorite class over here. Out of all my other channels, this like my favorite channel. Out of all my classes, this is my favorite one. But on subject, we talking about the West Indian Exposition. I see ain't nobody hitting me in the chat say they know nothing about the West Indian Exposition. Well, I'm feeling that because now I feel like I did a good thing. I brought something to the table you ain't know about. And like I say, Michael Sevier sponsored the show, salute. And I always try to pull out something new. Definitely try to pull out something that nobody ain't talking about. Like I say, geography always been one of my favorite subjects. And it's interesting that even to this day, how many people are just... When we're being honest, and we're not taking in the account, or we're not taking in consideration of people's feelings and emotion. If we're being honest, the majority of people are ignorant when it comes to the subject of geography. Now, you can walk down the street today and ask somebody, "Hey man, you ever heard of Hindustan? Or you know what Hindustan at?" And 9 times out of 10, if I was a betting man, I would bet that the person most likely did not know. Curtis in the house, salute Tribe Buck. 9 out of 10 times you walk down the street, ask just an average random anybody, "Hey man, you know what Hindustan at?" 9 out of 10 of them people not gonna know, man. That's just the facts. People are ignorant when it comes to subjects like geography, especially when place names have changed. Now, saying that to say this. When we talking about the West Indies, our home, the Americas, a lot of people are ignorant. A lot of people don't know what the Americas is. A lot of people don't know what the West Indies is. It's a whole bunch of confusion being spread, even by some people that you would think should know better. But the West Indies is the Americas. And the Americas is the continents of North America, South America, and the Caribbean islands. Everything in this hemisphere is the Americas. It's not just the United States. Our brothers in Haiti, our brothers in Jamaica, our brothers in Canada, our brothers in South America, in Brazil, those are our brethren. Those are our family. They went through what we did. They did not just come. Columbus ain't just come to the United States and come. Columbus never came to the U.S., to the so-called U.S. Columbus landed in the Caribbean. He called it Hispaniola. Terrorized Haiti and all that, right? And they went through the same thing. They got enslaved too. They got the same history you got, though yours might be slightly different from your particular zone. They got the same, them indigenous people, them our brethren, and our ancestors got enslaved together. So we can't get into this not understanding geography. Like if we gonna be on point about our identity, we need to be on point about everything. America is not just the United States. And if you a person, whether you new or whether you old, and you're in the House of Cons and you think America only includes the United States, I'm sorry, but you are ignorant.
You big dummy.
If you think the indigenous so-called black people only got enslaved in the United States, I'm sorry, you are ignorant.
You big dummy.
If you don't know that the entire Americas, including the United States, Canada, South America, and all our islands, equates to the West Indies, I'm sorry, my friend, you are ignorant.
You big dummy.
I don't care who you are. If you don't know the West Indies is inclusive of the entire Americas, you are ignorant. That's just the facts. That ain't no diss. That ain't no emotional argument. Those are the facts. You are ignorant about geography. You are ignorant about history. You are ignorant about America. If you are not in the understanding that the West Indies is the Americas, if you are not in the understanding that a Haitian is an American, if you're not understanding that a Jamaican is an American, if you're not understanding that a Canadian is an American. I know we've been rocking out to the Kendrick Lamar diss. He calling Drake the colonizer, talking about coming down, but no, Canada is America too. We can't make that relation and start saying people from Haiti and Jamaica talking about they coming to America, and that's America too. We gotta have an understanding, and I'm making all these points to make this point about the West Indies, because some people want to tell you that the West Indian is somebody else, and the West Indies only include a certain amount of space, but that is not true. They bad as a colonizer. For someone, even someone that look like us, to tell us, oh, the West Indies, that's just the Caribbean islands. That's different from us over here. They don't share our story and this and that. They are ignorant of history. I don't care if it's your teacher at school. I don't care if it's your mama or your daddy. The person telling you that is ignorant. They don't know the real history. They do not know the real history when they're telling you that. The West Indies is all of the Americas. And you know, it's proof in it. It ain't just a me arguing it because I like it or whatever. No, the proof in your face. We looking at the Charleston, South Carolina West Indian Exposition. Now, I dare somebody, I don't care who they is, I dare somebody to tell me that Charleston, South Carolina ain't part of the West Indies. I dare you. Make a fool out yourself. Make a fool out yourself if you want to. Make a fool out yourself if you want to. Because I can pull the facts out that a lot of us may have not seen. Hey, Island Bond. Let me say I'll speak your name right. Island Born in the house. Salute Tribe up, my brother, Island Born. These are Americans too. These are our brethren. Because if you know the real history, you know the West Indians, a lot of West Indians from South Carolina got shipped to the Caribbean to work the sugarcane fields, and a lot of them brothers from the Caribbean got brought here in North America and in the United States to Carolina and to Virginia. Like a lot of us in here right now, they might say, "Hey man, my great grandma was from South Carolina." Yeah, on her papers it might have said that, but did you know her grandmother may have been from Haiti or from any one of the Caribbean islands and got brought there? So you gotta study the real history before you start outcasting people, start speaking against people, start making claims on this. You're sounding like a colonizer. I don't care who it is. And when I say I don't care who it is, that do mean everybody. If we gonna speak on something, we gotta speak intelligently and knowing what we talking about. And we just looking at this thumbnail and it's from the Charleston, South Carolina Interstate and West Indian Exposition, 1901-1902. Let's talk about it. Let's go to a source. But before we go there, one more source just for people, because people be against what we talking about over here for some reason. Original Skywalker in the house. Salute Tribe up. Some people they're supposed to be on the same side. They're supposed to be on the same side we on, but one thing about Blackjack, I'm on the side of the hardcore truth. I ain't on nobody's side except the Most High and the truth. Now, if you rocking with the Most High and the truth, then we on the same side. But I ain't on no man's side. And I ain't on no agenda side. I'm on the side of the truth and on the Most High. Nothing else don't matter to me. And we looking at the Library of Congress. The West Indies even told you, for another source, man. For all the people acting like the United States and the West. Because some people are trying to make it. But see, and I know what it's all about. Hey, Wale in the house. Salute. Especially when it comes to the slave history. Some people want to say some people ain't black and all this. I thought none of us was black when it came down to it. Some people want to say they different than us and these people got a different agenda. Want to call people tellers and want to say people trying to latch on for reparations. See, it always come down when somebody talking about some colonizer dollars too. What I noticed some of our brothers in North America, in the United States, you want to own the Kunta Kinte slave story. You want to act like it was all about you getting beat up on. You want to act like you ain't never heard that that Columbus ain't even land in Florida, fool. He landed in the Caribbean. And the colonization, the conquering went from there and spread outwards, northward and south. So if you wanna act like it ain't enough reparations, they want a piece of the reparation, man, you bad as a colonizer. I hear these arguments some brothers making. Everybody want to, because you think some kind of colonizer pie finna get passed around. And they printing it out anyway. And West Indies, including part of Virginia. Not all of Virginia. We done read this before, but I'm going to keep drilling it. I will keep drilling it over and over because there's new people coming to the house and it's relevant every time we speak on it. We'll keep talking about it and putting it in their face because the colonizer in here watching too. And then we got YK the Truth in here watching. So YK the Truth. Oh, YK the Truth, hit me up in the chat. I know you in here. Got a couple people in here. Socialine in here. Socialine, hit me up in the chat. I know Socialine up in this piece, man. You know what I mean? Ain't you know need. Hey, man. Matter of fact, man, we gotta start acting like y'all ain't gotta be in here ghost watching. And if you want to hijack, I don't care. Hijack all you want to. I don't give a damn. But you ain't got to be in here ghost watching. At least shout out the chat, my naga Socialine. We know your ass in here. YK the Truth, we know you in here too, and other people. Other people I ain't gonna even name. No one they in here watching. Shout out the chat then. Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, South, out in America, Louisiana. And this what they speaking on, what they knew of at the moment. Because if you know the true history, you know Manifest Destiny, you know they came to the Caribbean, they started traveling up the coast first and down South America by boat. And then they started Manifest Destiny moving westward. They didn't even know how much land was here at first. They mapping out what they see at first. And they calling it all the West Indies, man. So we just gonna keep connecting these dots. If we gotta do it every other episode, it don't matter. It don't matter how many times we do it because it's still about us and our ancestors. Legend Naga Charge in the house. Salute, tribe up. It's about us and our ancestors and nobody else, and they cannot hide it. They try to hide it. They try to hide it or ignore it, but you know, I be looking in the darkest corners of the earth sometimes, and I always got a little something that you might not have seen before, Managa. It'll tell you about all this. They got all kind of Shaka Zulu movies, Kunta Kinte. They got all kind of books on some bullshit. Dark and Light in the house with House Hill in the house. They got all kind of stuff they want to throw down your throat. But how come I always got something that you might not have seen before? The South Carolina Interstate West Indian Expedition. I'm gonna use Wikipedia because we got more sources than this. I got about 8 sources up here. We're just starting off with them. I do this for a reason. South Carolina Interstate and West Indian Exposition, commonly called the Charleston Exposition or the West Indian Exposition. Okay, so the Charleston, South Carolina is also called the West Indian Exposition. Hey, Michael Weston in the house, tribe up. See, I know who I am. I know what my nationality is. I know what my ethnicity is from ancient times, my naga. And I know what's a big coincidence that ain't nobody but nagas looking like me calling themselves West Indians. So it's clearly ours. So I take pride in calling myself a West Indian because I know the true history. Even if our ancestors ain't create because that's what some, we always gonna have somebody a tit for tat type person. Well, our ancestors ain't called themselves West Indian. Okay, well, so what? They ain't call itself black or nigga either. But one thing about West Indian, it identifies a certain group. And if the colonizer gonna call me something, I'd rather him call me West Indian because it's historically correct. Call me what's historically correct if you're gonna call me something. But it just so happened that everything you're calling me historically correct, down to the N word. The South Carolina Interstate and West Indian Exposition, commonly called the Charleston Exposition or the West Indian Exposition, was a multi-county fair and regional trade exposition held in Charleston, South Carolina from December 1st, 1901 to June 20th, 1902. So I get so tired of the disrespect that the brothers in the Caribbean get, honestly, bro. It be pissing me off because I know a lot of people don't know I got family there. And we all got family there. But a lot of us don't know that. A lot of us don't know that. Even some people you would expect to know that don't know that. And you know, you talking shit about Florida piss me off. You go talking shit about Jamaica piss me off. Talking shit about Haiti piss me off. Them are our brethren. We are all West Indians, my nigga. I ain't no fool. And if you gonna diss one West Indian, you dissing all of us. History, my nigga. To overcome weakening trade with Latin America and the Caribbean, and seeing the benefits of fairs like the Cotton States and International Exposition held in Atlanta, Georgia in 1895. A railroad executive, J.H. Averill, advocated building an exposition in Charleston. Now, in the news of and let me blow it up so I can see. I'm trying to keep the whole page where y'all can see it too. And Courier, J.C. Hempfield, the editor of the News and Courier, and Frederick W. Wagner, a German immigrant and local businessman, were two early supporters of hosting a World's Fair in Charleston. Hey, you see that German immigrant knew where the hell he was at. He was in Charleston, South Carolina. He said, hey man, you know what? Let's have a West Indian exposition up this bitch. That's what the German said. Damn German even know it. In 1900, the Charleston Exposition Company was formed. Yeah, cause see, and I expect the outsiders to know it. The people from they know it, cause they ain't got a lot of them over there. They lying to your ass over here. Outside of the world, they ain't lying to everybody. That's why they used to always tell niggas, you need to get out and explore. Yeah, they telling people the truth in some places. They lying to your ass over here though, where everybody else know. Yeah, I'm going to the West End. They probably don't even talk about when they come into South Carolina from Germany. They probably don't even say they going to South Carolina. When they come into the U.S., they probably say they going to the West Indies over there. They know where the hell they going. Columbus knew where the hell he was going. Columbus told you he was looking for a route to the Indies. They tried to make it like they talking about somebody else. He was talking about the West Indies, fool. He knew exactly where he was going. In 1900, the Charleston Exposition Company was formed and began soliciting funds. There was support from the business community, and the South Carolina General Assembly allocated $50,000, but the Charleston aristocracy, no, did I say that right? The Charleston aristocracy, yeah, that's how you say it, the Charleston aristocracy, felt that the fair was unseemly self-promotion. He say, he felt it was unseemly self-promotion. Let me pay attention when I read here. The federal government, which had normally contributed funds, did not offer early support. The federal government said, hell nah, look at this shit. The federal government say, nah, we don't like the name. There were no official exhibits from abroad. Okay, no official, it's called the West Indian Exposition, but there ain't no exhibits from abroad. Telling you something, the West Indies is America, not just the Caribbean. Start listening to goofy people that don't know what the hell they talking about. Anybody can make a YouTube channel and just get them running their mouth. That's one of the problems. You know, it don't require no license. Hey, Kevin Cross in the house, salute tribe up. They don't require no license or no certification to teach. Anybody can just get on the YouTube, make a channel and go just talking about it, shit like they know what they talking about. Anybody. Wagner, who was president of the Exposition Company, suggested that 250 acres of his property on the Ashley River be used for the fair. The company hired a New York architect, Bradford L. Gilbert, who had been supervising architect for the Cotton States and International Exposition. Gilbert chose Spanish Renaissance style with the buildings painted creamy off-white. This led to it being called the Ivory City. Alright, the Ivory City, huh? Okay. The Exposition. Now, I don't even believe these people that talking about they build it. I believe shit was already here. I think they lying. You know what I'm saying? Salute to John Levy. Y'all check out John Levy. China John Levy be talking about it. Hey, salute to John Levy. I believe they lying. I believe these buildings always was here. I don't believe they did it. Then they always tell you, your slaves built them. Yeah, the indigenous people. Yeah, we know. The Exposition faced many challenges. The weather was not good. Some exhibits were late in opening, and there was a shortage of funds. President Theodore Roosevelt delayed his visit from February to April. The attendance was disappointing. Only 674,086 people came to the exposition. The cost of the exposition was $1,250,000, while the receipts were $313,000. So they lost money. So they spent down there 4 times what they made. That's not a good dope deal. Yo, you ever sold dope before? You ever went to the juggler man and say, hey man, give me some of them jugs, man. And you say, well, he would say, how much you got? He said, I got 100. He said, all right, he give you 100. You finna make back 25? What kind?
Big dummy.
See, it don't make sense. They ain't build nothing. Exhibits. The fair and its grounds were divided into 2 areas, nature and art. The focus of the exposition was the Cotton Palace, a 320-foot long building with a 75-foot tall dome. 320 foot, that is big. You know how the average house in the average neighborhood in America is barely 40 to 50 feet long. They got a 320-foot building out this bitch with a 75-foot tall dome. The other major buildings were the Palace of Commerce and the Palace of Agriculture. The women's building was in Wagner's Lounge, Grove House. The other major buildings were administration, art auditorium, fisheries, machinery, mines and forestry, Negro, transportation, and women. See, y'all better pay attention. We're talking about the West Indian Exposition. They don't got a colonizer building. They don't got a French building. They don't got this and that. They got a Negro building, and they got the Aztec building too, which they failed to mention in here. This is about the indigenous people, the West Indians, Managa. 20 different states participated in the exposition. State buildings were erected by Illinois, Maryland, Missouri, New York, and Pennsylvania. I believe this is a bunch of lies. I believe the buildings were already here. These Negro buildings. These people just talking about they founded them and shit like that. We founded it. Yeah, y'all ain't built it, huh? The cities of Cincinnati and Philadelphia also had buildings. Special structures were devoted. The structures were devoted. They ain't build nothing. See, I'm telling you, just read between the lines. Special structures were devoted. They put names on shit. Just like they put names on you Nagas. Were devoted to the exhibits of Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Guatemala. The grounds were adorned with statuaries, with statues. Look here, peep this. See, you gotta pay attention, man, because they tell you the truth in your face sometimes. Hey, Faded Magazine in the house. They tell you the truth right in your face. They might not tell you what they telling you. You just gotta be paying attention. We in the West Indian Exposition in the Americas, my nigga. In South Carolina, not in Cuba, not in Haiti, in South Carolina, my nigga. The grounds were adorned with statues, among them 6 originals. 6 original historical groups. 6 original historical groups among the statues of the West Indies. So 6 original historical groups of West Indians, my niggas, situated in the core of palaces. Statuary included the Aztec by Louis A. Goudebrow and the Negro by Charles A. Lopez and the Huguenot, the French Huguenot by Elsie Ward, But it's the Huguenot even really the French, my nigga? Is that just what the French tried to label it? That's what I don't know. Because the Huguenot, that's local to my area, my nigga. I be fishing over in Huguenot Park, historical Huguenot, my nigga. That's right. That's 30 minutes from my house, my nigga. I be over there in my boat, my nigga. I'm not even sure that's really French because it don't even look like a French word to me. Huguenot. That look more like an indigenous word if you ask me. The Negro, the Aztec. The Aztec is the Negro. The hell they mean? The Midway had a carnival with thrill rides, a 400-foot long painting of the Battle of Manassas. Like, man, before we keep going, man. See, man, I don't think everything be dawning on everybody. You know, they got these expositions. They be having these zoos and shit. They was studying the indigenous people, my naga, putting nagas in cages, studying the naga culture, studying the naga artifacts, digging in the ground, studying the naga grave. They like grave diggers, my naga. On tomb raiders, studying the naga graves, studying the naga skulls and shit. But they tell you they got you out of Africa. If they got you out of Africa, how come it's just Africa? If they studying, why they studying you so hard now? If they was studying you that motherfucking hard, they would say, we got you out of Zimbabwe. He's a Zulu warrior. They would have known all about your culture. These folks are lying. You are not African, my naga. They got here and went studying your ass. They said, what tribe is this naga here? This West Indian naga here. The Negro. Not the African, my naga. And Negro don't mean African. If you a dumbass naga in this shit, I don't care who you is, my naga. If you think Negro mean African, my naga, you in the wrong class, my naga. Your class is on the other hall, where the little bus pull up to. The Midway had a carnival with thrill rides. Yeah, but you read that. The long painting of the Battle of Manassas. And an Eskimo village where it looking like so they better be Nagas. There was a Turkish parlor with imported cigars and a house of horrors. Imported cigars, man, the tobacco come from America, man. Stop it. The miniature railroad company proved to be one of the most popular attractions and best paying amusement features on the grounds. The routes touched all points of interest from the sunken gardens and the quarter palaces to the headquarters for Hokey Pokey. They had it, see, that's that European shit, Hokey Pokey. Look at, see, told you. Look at that. Look at Miss Pearly thing.
Biatch. You big dummy.
Oh, you colonizer. Hey, somebody say Miss Pearly thing is a pilgrim. They say they don't let a pilgrim in the manosphere. I don't fuck with the manosphere. Tell I don't fuck with the manosphere. Hell, fuck them goof ass knockers, man. After Kevin Samuels died, the manosphere was booty. Not entertaining, bro. Them knockers booty as hell. All them knockers in the manosphere booty, man. Them knockers booty, man. That junk don't be funny then. Kevin Samuels the only one that was over there funny. Them knockers over there. Them knockers. Hey, I heard that. Who that was? That was Jout said that shit. He said they got a pilgrim in the manosphere running the mouth. I like the dog laughing. I think call that bitch a pilgrim. Hey, I know some of y'all might not know what the hell I'm talking about right now, but some of y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hold on, let me continue. That shit can't be cracking the fuck up, though. He called that bitch a pilgrim. And with similar expositions, there were souvenirs for sale, which included commemorative medals, pins, and other trinkets. Trinkets. Legacy. After the exposition, Charleston built Hampton Park on the eastern portion of the grounds that included the exposition's former court. Although it was moved and rebuilt, the bandstand in the park remains. In 1918, South Carolina obtained the western portion. This was used for the new campus of the Citadel, Lounge Grove, which was the women's building, and the exposition remains. All right. So we just covered that. Wikipedia had to talk about it. I just wanted to go and just cover that because they mentioned the Negro and the Aztec. That's why I say I don't just disregard Wikipedia. It is a source, but all sources got hijacked, so it's just another source. Nah, we finna look at South Carolina Encyclopedia. And they got even shorter section about it. Wikipedia had more to offer than them for some reason. But it's gonna basically speak on the same the same information I just read, but just a little bit less. it ain't have really much to offer different. Cause I read multiple sources because I look for different bits of information. You know what I'm saying? Some people might report something that others don't. But like I was looking at some of the stuff that in this one, like had a real short article. Like it ain't do too much history. But right here, when they talk about the goal of the exposition, this is what I was paying attention to. Say the goal of the exposition was to stimulate trade through the city's harbor. Wikipedia spoke about that, where traffic had steadily decreased since the Civil War. In the wake of the Spanish-American War, the exposition's proponents sought to position Charleston as the principal port of exchange between the U.S., the Caribbean, and Latin America. The West Indies, Managa, North America, Caribbean, and South America, Managa. I keep saying that. They put it in different words, Managa. However, the federal government did not give the exposition its formal approval until just before the start, and no foreign government sent official exhibits. Poor weather, a late installation of many exhibits, blah, blah, blah. All right. Now, when you look at them statues they was talking about when they had the Negro group sculpture by Charles, the originals, Managa, by Charles Albert Lopez at the South Carolina Interstate and West Indian Exposition. The Negro, Managa. Look at the little colonizer children. They say the Negro. They say over here, that's the Negro. They said that's the West Indian Negro. And we always see images of the West Indian, whether it's the carrots or whoever it is, carrying the baskets on their head, Managa. We can see them images I could pull up an image of somebody from today doing it right now, Managa. The Negro. The Negro group sculpture by Charles Albert Lopez at the South Carolina Interstate and West Indian Exposition. Now see, it was just the West Indian Exposition. They changed the name. They added in that South Carolina Interstate shit. With the photograph with the photographer's daughter Ruth and Lois Johnson in 1901, 1902. Man. See, man, somebody brainwashed immediately talking about African capitals. See, shiploads, African. That dumbass story, bro. Dumb stories, bro. 90% of people brainwashed don't even know what the West Indies is. Talking about somebody came from Africa. Okay, yeah, where Africa's a big place. Where? See, we got to get one thing we got to start doing to check these people that's always trying to make a false narrative. It's not even really reading, but just start them run with the same old basic lie narrative. Shiploads of African capital. Okay, from where in Africa? And when since you can load the ship from top to bottom with everybody laying on top of each other without it sinking? When since you could do that? Start stopping their ass in their tracks. Don't even let them move on. Raise your voice on them and all. Whatever it take. Stop right there. Shiploads of African capitals. Where at in Africa? Where the ship left from? Stop lying. Aztec by Louis A. Gudebroad, sculpture at the Charleston Exposition. So this what a whole different artist did and tried to say was the Aztec, right? Louis A. Gudebroad. Sculptures of the so-called originals. The Negro and the so-called Aztec, and there's the Negro again. Somebody they call him the Moore. His last name is Moore. Like a white bitch to me.
Yeah, you big dummy. Boom, shakalaka.
Somebody gonna say, she white, man. How can she be a Moore? Man, look, I ain't even gonna go there with you. Monument to the Mystic Shriners. That shit, they got some old Egypt shit. Do you really know where Egypt at? Do you really know your geography? I look at these different sources for this because, like I say, a lot of them offer something different. The other source ain't even have a picture of the Aztec statue by the different artists. All these buildings, they try to play like they threw it up real quick. Man, them buildings been there. This is a part of our history they was destroying, my nigga. They were destroying your buildings. Throwing their names on it, calling it this and that, throw up a fair and then destroy it all. The West Indies, my nigga. You know, like I say, we be talking about getting our identity, taking back what's ours. Do we really want to know what ours is? Do we really want to even know, or is we just? Do everybody just want to check? Like, I'm starting to think everybody just want to check for real. I'm starting to think about a lot of niggas ain't really with it like that for real. Cause like, especially when I be hearing niggas talk slide about the West Indian, talk slide about the Caribbeans. I be looking at niggas sideways for real. Niggas be talking about niggas from I heard some YouTube creators supposed to be in our lane talking about niggas from the Caribbean, West Indian coming here trying to latch on. I ain't nigga, what you mean latch on, my nigga? You trying to fight for a colonizer crown? You like them little pigeons in the park when the colonizer sitting out there throwing some stale ass bread and y'all out there fighting over that little stale ass bread. You know what I'm saying? You worry about. You call a nigga, tell a nigga latching on like them people ain't like the people in the Caribbean ain't went through just as worse as what our ancestors did. All over the Americas, my nigga. I'm tired of the stupidity, my nigga. The stupidity is just that's our worst enemy. It ain't them. It ain't other people. Our own stupidity is our worst enemy, my niggas. Is our worst enemy, my nigga. Like niggas be making content, talking about who latching on for reparations and all this, and worrying about what the white man gonna give them. I guess you ain't read Devastation of the Indies, a short account of the destruction of the Indies. That's talking all about the Caribbean in 1542. Ain't even talking about North America yet. You want to talk about what somebody went through? I ain't gonna even. We'll go. We can go to the first one that pop up. I usually don't like to go to the first one that pop up. They throw some bullshit at you. A short account of the devastation of the Indies, written in 1542 by Columbus people, Bartholomew de las Casas. Presentation by Bishop Don Fray Bartholomew de las Casas to the Most High and Potent Lord, Prince of all. He ain't my Lord, bitch. The Most High and Potent Lord, bitch. That blasphemy, bitch. That ain't the Most High, bitch. I'm about the Most High, bitch. And the motherfucking Most High, that's a Satan. Because divine providence has ordered in this world that for the direction and common utility of the human lineage, the world constituted by kingdoms and peoples with their kings like fathers and blah blah blah. I don't feel like I ain't gonna read all this, but this book by Bartholomew de las Casas is talking about, you know, the genocide and the enslavement of the indigenous people, my naga, the West Indians, my naga. It's talking about what really happened, my naga, to the people like the Juka, who they tried to play like they brought from somewhere. Them people was already here that they tried to enslave. Just like the Haitians already there, you tried to enslave, and they beat y'all ass and took their island back and named it back the indigenous name. But yeah, this book here, I ain't read all this book, but I read my shelf, and it's a long book. I'm gonna get more into it. I don't have the book. I read parts of it off the internet, but I want to order it for myself. The Devastation of the Indies. There it go again, my nigga, right? The cause for which the Christians have slain and destroyed so many of such infinite numbers of souls has been simply to get as their ultimate end the Indians' goal, and to stuff themselves with riches in a very few days, and to raise themselves to high estates without proportion to their birth or breeding, But what's so funny is the man that wrote this book, Bartholomew, he was participating in this shit. Bartholomew was with it. He was. Bartholomew was in the car. He was down to do the drill. He was down to get the money. He started feeling guilty halfway in it. His conscience started weighing on him. He started feeling guilty about that shit. And he wrote a book telling on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That's what the truth is. With Devastation, short account of Devastation of the Indies. This Columbus people wrote this shit. He was in with. They say he was one of the worst ones when he was down with the shit. Bitch ass. Didn't want to switch out. He telling on everybody. He got images and all showing what they was doing to the Nagas. They wasn't doing this to they fellow white. These fake ass images. These images showing you what they was doing, but they done whitewashed it. You think them was white people hanging like that? Who they told you got hung, Naga? Who they told you got hung and enslaved, Naga? They ain't tell you them fake ass Dawes Road Cherokees ever got hung and enslaved. They told you the West Indians got enslaved, Naga. The Cherokees don't even tell you they West Indians. They say, nah, them the black people.
You big dummy.
The Cherokee, the Dawes Road Cherokee will tell you that. Here, the West Indians, them the niggas. That's not us. Yeah, we know. They ain't do none of they fellow white men like this. These are lies. They did the niggas like this. Chopping Naga's arms off. All them stories you done heard about slavery. You got your foot chopped off. All that fake ass Kunti Kinte shit. Yeah, them was the West Indians, my Naga. You go for these fake whitewash images if you want to. How come none of the Dawes Road Indians claim they West Indians? How come none of the Dawes Road tribe try to say they West Indians? And none of them don't say their ancestors were slaves. They say their ancestors owned slaves. They telling on themselves. They say their ancestors had the niggas enslaved. They telling on themselves. And none of the Dawes Road Cherokees got held to the stake like this and set on fire and told you better accept Jesus. And none of them Dawes Road Cherokees talking about Jesus today. That's your grandma doing that shit. That's your grandma celebrating Zeus and shit.
You big dummy.
And them damn Africans working in the store in your neighborhood, it ain't happening to them either, man. They don't relate to you. It's happening to your ancestors, Managa. All this story they tell you, see, it's a double-edged sword, Managa. The hijack is real. They know the story happened to you. They tell it to you, but they switch it up because you so-called black. They know the story happened to you. They trick you out the West Indian shit and tell you was African and try to make the story up about Africa with some fake just anywhere in Africa. They might as well just say it from Asia. That's like saying, yeah, all y'all came from Asia. Motherfucker gonna be like, from Asia? Well, they just say, yeah, they came from Africa, anywhere over there. They ain't got nowhere to say they came from because they ain't got no records to prove it. They ain't got no ship, no none of that. So they tell the truth about the story though, about the tragedy, the hangings, the cuttings, the burnings. But they just throw it in Africa on some fake ships that never came. And then they tell the truth about the story of the Indians, what they know is you. But they whitewash the images to switch it, make you think it's somebody else. They trick you 2 times. You the victim twice in one stroke. And the very people that tell you they Indians today, none of them ain't crying about their ancestors going through this. It didn't happen to them. None of them cry about their ancestors being enslaved. Remember, they said them was the freedmen. Man, we gotta start reading between lines, man. Hey, salute to Michael Sevier one more time for sponsoring the show with the Cash Out donation. If you want to support the house, we got the Cash App at the top of the screen. Cash.app/$ House of Cons. Y'all tribe up with me. And I appreciate everybody for showing up tonight, man. And like I said, we got to do better, at least about geography, especially kids, man. If your kids don't know nothing else, man, make sure they learn geography, man. Because people sound dumb when they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to land and what place at and where we at. You can't sound smart if you don't know what you're talking about, Manala. I'm going to catch y'all next time. We out. Peace.